Greetings, everyone. Glenn Kellaway from the basement. It is Monday morning, back with a video. There's a few of these videos going around the VC that I've noticed. 10 albums that changed my life. So I thought I would jump on board with this. I think it's a pretty interesting topic. Um, so let's just say that I have been passionate about music from the cradle. I don't know a day in my life where I haven't just, it's weird. I don't know, but it's been there forever and ever and ever. And it's besides family and friends and health and all, it's the number one thing in my life and always will be. And it's been just so joyous and got me through all the good times, all the bad times, and continues to do so, I'm sure, until the day I'm not here anymore. So let's just start there. Um, Most important album first in my life would have to be in 1964 when the Beatles were on Ed Sullivan, and the albums came out in Canada as Beatlemania with Meet the Beatles, which I don't have, and of course the Twist and Shout album, which is a Canadian only release. Got both those albums pretty much at the same time, and just life changing. I think it's life changing for so many of us. I mean, it's like, that moment in history, the Kennedy assassination, the Beatles on Ed Sullivan, 9/11, Man on the Moon. There's only so many of these historic moments, and this one's in there with those big historic moments. And wow, I mean, I was obsessed with these guys, just obsessed, and continue to this day. Just changed my life musically, and enhanced my life, made my life more joyous. I When these guys were like heroes and idols to me, when they did something, I did it. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Trust me. So Beatles, Twist and Shout, number one. Number two, hearing Like a Rolling Stone in 1965 on the radio. I mean, life changing. Just opened my ears to that the world is just not full of 3-minute pop songs. There's some deeper things going on in music. And Bob Dylan, Like a Rolling Stone, I immediately bought Highway 61 Revisited, first Bob Dylan album I ever owned. Again, Bob along with the Beatles, that they're the two. That's it. I mean, everybody else falls down a notch. Number three for me would be the release of Surrealistic Pillow. I bought this album. This introduced me to the San Francisco scene. I absolutely love this album, one of my top albums of all time. And it really put the focus on that whole scene for me. Um, Country Joe and the Fish, Quicksilver Messenger Service, and Jefferson Airplane were my three favorite. I was not a dead guy yet, but that's coming. So, really important album for me. Fantastic record. Number four. So, Freak Out comes out, Zappa's album 1966. I first heard it in 1967 when a friend of mine turned me on to it. So I was now aware of Mr. Zappa. But the second album, and I heard, I believe on Underground Radio probably, Brown Shoes Don't Make It off of Absolutely Free. Man, that song just uh, immediately grabbed this album. I mean, Frank's music has just opened my ears to so much stuff. I mean, to just that maybe rock shouldn't be taken so seriously. It can be joked about. Politics a little bit. Uh, Fusion music. Just so much stuff. I mean, just really mind altering. Mind altering. Just, I love albums that open your ears. That's the best. That's the best. The next would be now I didn't mention this album, but it's kind of Catalyst. So when I heard Zeppelin 3 and Gallows Pole and heard the banjo in Gallows Pole, it opened my ears up to the sound of the banjo. Because prior to that, it just was hillbilly music, and I wasn't interested at all. I was a rocker. And then for some reason, the sound of that banjo and that song really, it just, I don't know what it was. It jumped out at me. Then you flash forward a couple of years, and the Eagles come out with Desperado. And this is, I mean, there's some bluegrass songs on here, a lot of banjo. This is Bernie Leadon's album, as far as I'm concerned. His playing on this album is absolutely incredible. This album, this is when the light bulb went off, and I went, wow, that instrument is really, really starting to frickin' get in my head. So this was a really important album to my life because banjo playing took me. I played my banjo from Toronto to Alberta, all across southern Alberta, northern Alberta, bands in Ontario. I mean, I've met so many people and played with some just really nice, talented people in different bands, and it was really, really changed my life, gave me an identity. So then we go to John Hartford's steam-powered aeroplane, which came out around 19. Oh man, I wish I could get a date on this. I lose my early 70s anyway. And I first saw John Hartford on Glenn Campbell Good Time Hour, and was blown away by him. This long-haired hippie playing a banjo, and that probably would have been pre-Eagles. And then this album came out, opened my ears to acoustic music like you have no idea. Have been a fan of acoustic music, roots music, Americana, whatever you want to call it, ever since. Really important album in my life, this one. John Hartford, Steam-Powered Aeroplane. Next, another one that just opened my ears to all kinds of stuff. Blues, roots music, jazz, whatever. Mr. Ry Cooder. Man, another album that's probably top 20 album of all time for me, Paradise and Lunch, Ry Cooder, really important album. Ry has taken me on a musical journey like there's only two guys who've really done that for me, Ry Cooder and one guy coming up. I've got three more to go. Next, jazz. How did I get into jazz? These two kind of go together, so I'm going to put them together. I started listening to bluegrass music when I heard the Newgrass Revival in probably 74, 75, somewhere around then. Really, then I jumped from banjo being in more of a rock, country rock setting to more bluegrassy and then jazz stuff. But this album, David Grisman and Stefan Grappelli live. This is an incredible record. I bought this. It's just string music playing jazz. And I saw these guys on the Johnny Carson show, believe it or not, the Tonight Show. And they blew everybody away. They played close to the end of the show. And I still remember Johnny coming back from a commercial saying, I got nothing more to say. We're going back to this band, and let the band close out the show. I've never seen Johnny do that before with a musical guest, because these guys were incredible. And this is a fantastic record. They do some standards on here like Misty and Sweet Georgia Brown, I think, is on here. Shine, Sonny Rollins' Penthouse, Pent Up House, Tiger Rag, Satin Doll, a Duke Ellington song, Swing 42, Django Reinhardt song. This is just a brilliant, brilliant record. If you've never heard this, check it out. Stefan Grappelli, David Grisman live, opened my ears to all kinds of jazz and stuff, which now my mind is really starting to expand. Lucky I got a big head, not as big as Sam St. John's, but next, Bela Fleck comes into my life around 1978, I think. I first heard of him from a gentleman I took a few banjo lessons from. He told me about this young phenom in New York City, and he first was in a band called Tasty Licks out of the Boston area. Then went to a band called Spectrum. Now, I got a chance to see Spectrum when I worked at the Carlisle Bluegrass Festival in it was either 1979 or 1980. At the same time, Bela was playing in that band and their album was out. Bela has released his first solo album at the age of 18, I think. It's called Crossing the Tracks. Now, I don't have that on vinyl anymore. I'm looking for it all the time. But there was a song on there called Spain, which is a Chick Corea / Miles Davis sketches of Spain. That whole thing. Bailey did it on the banjo, and again, just one song that blew my head off. I got a chance to talk with Bela backstage about it. And it's my first meeting with Bela, one of many that I've had a chance to see him. I've been like a fleckhead all my life. I've gone to Boston, South Carolina, Oberlin, Ohio, Buffalo, Rochester, many times in Toronto. It's just all over, and I've got a chance to talk with Bela quite a few times. He's a great dude, and I'm going to see him April 5th in Kingston, Ontario. Very excited about that. His new album, Rhapsody in Blue, is just absolutely incredible. It's probably going to be my album of the year. It's just absolutely brilliant. Anyway, I'm going to show this Bela album. It's a comp called Daybreak. It has Spain on it. Crossing the Tracks is really the album. That from then on, this is like if the Grisman album kind of started my jazz journey, this one just blew the doors wide open. So thanks, Bela. Turned me on to so much good stuff. Last but not least, I am a bit of a deadhead. I hate to call myself a deadhead because I wasn't. I saw the Grateful Dead in 1970, so I saw the original Dead with Pigpen and everything. So I got that under my belt, but never a big Dead fan as I am now. And this album came out in 1981, I think. Grateful Dead Reckoning, which is acoustic live performances of Dead songs. And once I heard this, because their studio albums, I just didn't. I mean, I heard Casey Jones and stuff like that, but it was fine. I didn't dislike it. I just didn't really have a passion for it. But once I heard this, I went, wow, this is amazing. If you've never heard this, Sam St. John, I'm speaking to you, Reckoning, acoustic Dead, fantastic. From then on, Jerry Garcia, bless his heart, the Grateful Dead. I went on a journey and it's never stopped. I absolutely love the Grateful Dead. One of my favorite bands of all time, top 5. What can I say? That's it. That's my musical journey, and it still continues to this day. I will be 71 years old in June, and I'm still finding new music I love and having my ears opened. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I enjoyed talking about these albums that mean so much to me. Everyone have a great day. Tonight, live, 7 p.m., please join me, one-on-one, featuring Eric Clapton with John from Music Talk with John. Take care.